Alright, so today we are going to be working on the Tacoma. Again, for the third video in a row. I think third. But we're going to be working on the Tacoma, but firstly, we have to get this thing out of here, which it needs fender liners. And then that's going out of here, and we can get the Tacoma in and start accessorizing that, which will be a light today. That is going to be the contents of today's video.
In case infinities aren't your thing, stay tuned for this boy. And if you really like cars, yeah! Built by Beijing Kong, Japan. Digging the trash. Within this box lies the secrets to all mankind.
Alright, so we just for the moment, well, it will still be the same video, but I have to actually go home for the evening and be back here either tomorrow or Sunday, one or the other. Then we can finally start getting working on the Tacoma, because I got started later here than I originally intended to, and then this took twice as long as I intended for it to take. But the fender liners are now in the G35, and I don't have to deal with the stupid annoying rock sound of rocks to metal, and then these bad boys getting all foggy from condensation from moisture endlessly being thrown at the back of them. Day 2, we are back. Now we're gonna get working on this Tacoma. I'm ready to get all the lights, accessories, all the wiring, everything done. So we're back, and we have to, wrong switch, pull this thing out yet again and back that thing in. I gotta fix that absolutely atrocious squeak. I believe it's just a belt squeak. Probably will put new belts on the thing, and that'll probably fix it. Maybe the tension's a little loose. It's horrible. It's pretty bad. And that is that. Now we can get to work. First order of operations is to mount the accessory plate that goes behind this in there, or well, sorry, underneath this over the evap box in here, because that is where all the relays, wiring, everything are going to go on that panel, and that's the only reason I haven't really started. It's just because that needs to be there before anything else can work or be hooked up. So that's what we're gonna do first. We're gonna mount that first. This is from Scarab Off-Road. These are kind of a made per order sort of thing, so they take about 3 weeks to get to you. I think that's how long it took. I ordered mine through SRQ Fabrication, and it came directly from Scarab Off-Road. And so this is the main panel right here. So essentially, where if I believe it goes, it mounts in like this, and then all your switch panels and everything mount on top of it. So like right here is where my aux beam switch will overlap. The wires will come up through here and go into the switch up through here, and then to the switch directly. Mounts here. Then the power and the ground wire go through here. The little breaker goes here, and I'll show you guys all this stuff. And then your relays go here, if it'll focus there. But the relays go on these points right here. I will probably I have my headlight harness I need for the LED conversion has 2 relays, so they'll probably mount right up on this. Well, psych, I'm not mounting it. So here's the problem. Couple problems. The biggest issue, and I think I could fix it by just spreading the brackets or making another one to push it out farther. This hood strut, and this is something in fairness that they didn't account for when making their panel. It hits right here on this one. This one's far enough, big enough a gap and far enough out that it's fine, but it hits over here. So that's an issue. So in the meantime, we can't really do anything. So we're gonna wire the headlights, and we're just gonna put the harness where I see best fit. So yeah. I want to show you guys what I did for the harness. So this harness is literally like a $15 harness from Amazon. There's your relays, your fuse for your power. So I ran the power here, grounds at each fender bolt right there. Just kind of cleaned it up with a zip tie. And so how these work is it plugs in right here to the factory harness. And then this is now your new plug for this side. And that's why you have to add power and the ground. And it's dual ground so that the LEDs work. And then the harness runs all the way across. And you no longer use this old crusty plug, but you use this new one for your headlights. And so I just zip tied it off up in here. There's another harness back in here as well, a factory one. So it's all along this channel, and then pops out through here, and then comes back into this. That looks way better, in my opinion. Just look at that. Look at that angle. That is beautiful. And then when I get all those marker lights and the Raptor lights over here, and then of course the pods and the light bar and the winch in, man, this thing is just gonna look so complete. But those, I definitely think those are the move. I do kind of think a black housing one of these would complete the look better. So we might consider that in the future. But man alive, those are just spectacular. I could not ask for more. Really liked how these turned out. I think they're the move. I'll link these and the harness, as well as the accessory mounting plate in the description of the video. These headlights and the harness are just an Amazon deal. I believe the headlights are like 125 bucks. If you want them without the running light in the center, they're like 95 bucks. And then the harness is like $15. But these are pretty bright, at least in the shop here with the lights on. So we'll see how they are on the actual highway. But I'm pretty sure if you own one of these Tacomas, you know that the headlights suck. And I'm pretty sure that these are going to be way better, day and night difference. But we'll let you guys know.